Today, we're going to talk about substitution of candidates in the Philippines. But first, the usual disclaimer. The speaker expresses his views and opinions in his personal and professorial capacity. They do not in any way represent the views, opinions, and policies of the COMELEC, where he works as Regional Election Attorney of Region 7. Assumptions made in any analysis do not reflect the position of the COMELEC. That is employed by the COMELEC does not mean it endorses this channel or its contents. Likewise, the COMELEC does not represent or warrant the accuracy, applicability, and completeness of its contents and instructions. The COMELEC likewise disclaims any liability to any party from any damage arising from direct or indirect use of the statements and instructions made by him. The contents are for informational and educational purposes only. So, may a candidate be replaced? The answer is yes, under certain circumstances. What are these circumstances? It could either be death, withdrawal, or disqualification. If the candidate dies or voluntarily withdraws his candidacy in writing and under oath, or is disqualified with finality for any cause, he or she can still be replaced subject to certain conditions. What are these conditions? Number one is there must be a candidate, and that candidate filed his certificate of candidacy with a certificate of nomination and acceptance coming from a duly registered political party or coalition. And that candidate either dies, withdraws in writing, or is disqualified with finality. He or she can still be replaced by somebody who must belong to the same duly registered political party or coalition. Are we saying then that an independent candidate cannot be replaced? Yes, because there is no party representation to be continued. Is this rule absolute? Not necessarily, because during barangay elections, where every aspirant is considered independent, he or she can still be replaced in case of death, but only with the surviving spouse. So until when should we allow substitution of candidates? Again, it depends on the ground. If it is due to withdrawal, we can allow substitution on or before November 15, 2021. But if it is due to disqualification with finality or due to death, we can allow substitution until midday of election day, subject to certain conditions. What's the reason why there are two different periods here? Or better yet, what is so special about November 15, 2021? Well, it's not really about November 15, 2021, but the day after. Because the day after, that is the time when the COMELEC starts to print the official ballots for the 2022 elections. And during automated elections, the names of the candidates are to be printed or will appear on the face of the official ballots. So if you were to be allowed to replace somebody who withdrew his candidacy after November 15, 2021, your name cannot anymore be printed on the face of the official ballot. Exactly why we cannot anymore allow replacement due to withdrawal after November 15, 2021, because by then we have already started to print the official ballots. If that is the premise, how come we still allow substitution by reason of disqualification or by reason of death until midday of election day? The reason is because disqualification and death, these are involuntary causes. The candidate did not choose to die, or the candidate did not choose to be disqualified, much less with finality. So are we saying then that if the candidate committed suicide, he can not anymore be replaced? The answer is not necessarily, because the law does not distinguish as to the nature, cause, and manner of death. For as long as there is death, the candidate can still be replaced by somebody who must belong to the same political party or coalition, but subject to another condition. And that condition is the disqualified candidate and the candidate who died and the replacement must share the same surname. What's the reason? Because by then, the official ballot had already been printed, and the name of the candidate who was disqualified and the candidate who died already appeared in the official ballot. So even if the first name or the nickname might be different, for as long as the surname is the same, at least the voters can still be guided that if they're going to vote for the substitute, the vote using the surname of the disqualified candidate or the candidate who died still pertains to the replacement, exactly why we require that they must share the same surname if it is due to disqualification or death after November 15, 2021, but until midday of election day. That being said, let me end by saying that an informed electorate is indispensable in a democracy. Thank you.